What's going on, y'all? Season number 2, first episode. Um, Happy New Year. Yeah, it's March, but Happy New Year to those who are longtime followers. If you are true to this, not new to this, welcome back to the show. This is live. This is live. We are not just on YouTube, but we're also on Facebook. So to our Facebookers, yo, welcome to the platform. As we said, this is live. I'm seeing your interactions in real time, seeing our comments in real time. And so I know most of our, when you look at podcasts, most of the episodes are pre-recorded. But every now and again, we're going to sprinkle in some live episodes such as this. So a couple things we want to put out before we jump into our content. One, if you've got a comment, when I show this screen here, pop your comment, pop your comment in, pop your comment in like so. Hey, I'm Pam. How you doing? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is a lot of work involved, but I'm glad you like it. So yeah, you pop your comment in like that. Let me give us another one. Yeah, put your comments right there, and then we'll show them there. So as we know with this particular show, y'all know I do a lot of interviews, and so I interview different guests. But tonight we don't have a guest; it's just me. Nevertheless, there's some questions that I feel are important for us to answer as we transition from Will, as we transition from season 1 to season 2. I'm gonna say this once, Will. Ryan. Nevertheless, I've got 3 primary questions that we're going to deal with tonight. But if you got some comments, you got some questions, feel free to hop them in the chat. This is a ministry. Don't be afraid to like it. Don't be afraid to subscribe to it. Bless the channel. Bless the ministry. However, let's hop into it, y'all. Question number 1. What have I learned? Going back to season 1, now hopping into season 2, man, that's really, I've learned a lot. If I can be Judgment Day honest with y'all, when you look at podcasting, content creation, man, look, this thing is hard. It's not easy. I know you see the end result and it's crisp. I try to put together a good product, but it takes a lot of work. And so I'm not going to sit here and put it to y'all like it's easy, because it's not just this side of it. Obviously, we are sponsored by a church, obviously Virtue Church of Christ. Shout out to my church family. Appreciate y'all just for supporting all this time. But in order for you really to get to this kind of thing, whether you're doing podcasting, any form of content creation, you got to have some structure. You got to have a formula that really works for you, because what works for me may not work for you. And so I've talked to a lot of cats over the last year or so who've been pushing me, yo, keep going. A lot of cats like, man, I'm interested in starting one. Where do I start? I mean, there's I'm gonna just say it's levels to it. It's levels to it. And so just know, if you're trying to step out in this realm and really do anything worth having, just know it's gonna be hard. Thirdly, rather, don't be afraid of technology. Do not be afraid of technology. I know we're in a world where technology kind of rules the world, and you're looking at artificial intelligence. Now, I still haven't gotten into like chat GPT and all that, but I have gotten into the realm in the world of AI. And let me tell you, jump into it. It'll save you a lot of time. It'll save you a lot of structure. Now, for my preachers and my pastors out there, yo, do not AI your sermon, okay? Be true to the game. Do your own study. Craft your own lessons. Pray over this thing. Yeah, do not artificial intelligence your sermon, okay? Because we can tell. So, yeah, 1, it's hard. Get you a formula that works for you. Use technology to your advantage. And thirdly, under this one, yo, learn and grow from your experiences. If you go back and look at season one, my first episode, and comparing it to now, preferably you can see a pattern of growth and development. And so it's one of those things where you kind of have to learn as you go. You learn as you're doing it. And so don't think with anything that you're trying for the first time that you're gonna master this thing on the first go. It's gonna take some time. So I just want to be straight up, real honest with y'all. Okay. So that's number one. That's a little bit. I mean, there's much more that I've learned, but in a nutshell, that's kind of the gist of it. Number two, how will season two improve on season one? And these are some tough questions that I asked myself. I wanted to make sure that Miss Amy hit him with the chat GPT. Yeah, I haven't got there yet. Yeah, yeah, but by the time I say this, by the time we end season two, Miss Amy, we'll definitely be on the chat GPT game. So yeah, for sure. But yeah, hopping back to number two. When you look at season one, obviously it was special. It was, man, it was our inception in this thing. One, it was a get to know you piece, if you will. And so with the get to know you piece, it was kind of an introductory, one, to myself, but two, to the guests that were on the show. And we had a variety of people. We had, of course, ministers. We had the wives of church leaders. We had a couple guests from the community. And so we had a good variety of guests that were on. But what I've noticed going through season one was that the impact was limited based on one's relationship with the individual. We talked about different topics here and there, but season one was about relationships. It was really depending on if you knew the person, right? And so with season two, we want to actually dive more into relevant topics, things that are relevant, things that are necessary within church and community. And so that's kind of what season two is going to be about. And we'll have some people on that but I really want season two to be a benefit to anyone who watches, whether you're a churchgoer, whether you're not, whether you're a friend, whether you're a total stranger. And we know how to social media. Once you put it out there, anybody can watch it. And so with season two, I really wanted to be intentional about just diving in and dealing with topics that are relevant and necessary. And so, even now, like I said, we're live. If you've got some things you say, man, okay, I would love to see a conversation about this, put them in the thread. We would love to take it and see what we can do to put that out there, because I mean, yeah, I may be producing this platform, but I believe it's a collaboration of a number of people. So Janet, my girl, what's good? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be honest with this thing, and I believe it's important because when you look at social media, a lot of people put on that facade and that front, and I believe you got to have a certain appeal, obviously, but you got to be honest. I think we're in a society, we're in an era of humanity where people really appreciate genuineness, and they appreciate honesty, and they appreciate transparency. So that's always been my MO, and I ain't gonna stop that. Okay. But yeah, season two, we want everyone to be able to benefit, whether you are familiar or unfamiliar. We want everybody to be able to benefit. Let's see. Let me take Miss Amy off. CC said, as a podcaster, did you reach out to some guests that said no? If so, what was your plan B for those specific episodes? That's a very, very good question. I actually had one individual that told me no, I won't mention their name. I was in a spinoff that in the spinoff we were talking to the wives of ministers, and a very, very good friend of mine. Again, I won't mention her name, but when I proposed to her, and I thought she would be great for this, but she was in a season of her life where she didn't really want to come out, because she was like, yo, I appreciate what you're doing. If I came on your show, nobody is gonna want to watch it no more. That's the God honest truth of what was told to me. Um, but the thing is, though, CC, as I mentioned at the top of the show, with podcasting, a lot of episodes were pre-recorded. So, and this is gonna sound crazy, but going back to number one, just talking about the difficulty of podcasting. So, I launched season one January 1 of 2023, right? So, but by the time before I started the first episode, I already had about 4 to 6 months of episodes already recorded. So I was just able to spit them out week by week by week by week. Also, be honest, this year I'm going out on a limb in that I may have only a handful of episodes pre-recorded, right? So we're really trying to do this thing in real time, trying to try something different, just try to see if engagement will increase. And I know there's obviously the pros and cons to both pre-recording. Obviously, I've got them already ready to go, and so I'll just play them. But then when you're doing it live in real time, there's nothing like live interaction, to be able to watch and say, okay, this person is doing this in real time. So, um, again, in the name of honesty. So if I mess up, guess what? I mess up. It's what it is. And so, again, we live in a society where we put on the facade. Everything has to be right, crisp, pristine. You can't always do that in live streaming. Think about when you live stream a church service. Whatever happens, happens. You got to just deal with it, right? So, yeah. So my plan B, CC, was just, yo, go to another episode and press play. So that was that. What's up, Mama Steph? How you doing? How you doing? Again, she was one of our guests last year. Good to see you. Good to see you. And you already know we definitely gonna have you on again this year for sure. For sure. All right. So that's number two. Great question, CC. Again, any other questions or comments, yo, feel free to put them in chat. Last one that I got for us. Simple question, but it's important. When and where were the episodes broadcast? So obviously, if you have been following along with us last year until now, we were exclusively on YouTube. And so this time around, we're trying to include other platforms. And so Facebook is out here. And they'll encourage us, definitely, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely do so. Just go to YouTube and type in @the MBM. You'll find the channel there. You'll see all the previous episodes, everything that we kind of got into. Because when you look at YouTube, and there are a number of platforms that do video and audio. Obviously, the OG form of podcasting is audio. You look at Spotify, you look at Apple, obviously, you got your podcast audio form there. But yeah, Facebook is trying to catch up. Instagram, now they have platforms as well. You've got, man, what's the other ones? Don't get me to call them. LinkedIn has some stuff there as well. But when you look at the OG in terms of video format, YouTube is where it's at. I mean, because when you look at Facebook, Instagram, all the others, there's a social it was primarily a social apparatus. Whereas with YouTube, they do have a community platform there, but YouTube primarily focuses on video. So also there is a aspect called SEO, which means stands for search engine optimizer. So YouTube, because YouTube is owned by Google, so if you really want to get noticed as far as video is concerned, YouTube is where it's at, because when you Google something, it's more likely to pull up YouTube as well. So that's primarily why a lot of cats use YouTube. My homie Tasha, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, so definitely trying to do more live episodes. So we won't do them all the time, because that's, again, I said from the top, it's hard, but we will sprinkle in a few here and there. Okay. But yeah, so we'll primarily be on YouTube. Every now and again we'll sprinkle in Facebook. And who knows? I've never been. I know Instagram is for a younger audience, my age and down, and so we may explore Instagram. So I've never had. I guess honesty is a word for the night. So honesty, I've never had. I don't have an Instagram page, but obviously with a platform like this, it's probably necessary. So probably by the end of season 2, we'll have Instagram and have some things for that as well, because Instagram actually has a live format as well. So there's a number of things with that. CC, let's pop you back in. Uh, yeah. So there's no such thing as perfect, but did you have doubts about the show? How did you know those pre-recorded episodes were ready to release and stay consistent? You come in with the fire tonight, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I had doubts about the first episode. I mean, I was excited about it. I prayed over it. COVID, I'll be honest, COVID actually created this platform. It was going through COVID, obviously, when we had to shelter in place and you had to reinvent yourself in terms of church and how you broadcast, how you get your information out. COVID actually created this. And so a lot of churches have a hybrid format where you are in person on Sundays and then on Wednesdays you're on Zoom or you're live on Facebook or YouTube, whatever your platform is. Um, and so I told my wife, I told Karen, I said, yo, I said, if I can do this for church, I can do this, consistently. And if you know me, technology is my thing. Technology is definitely my thing. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I don't apologize for it. It's my thing. But to answer the other part of your question, not only were there doubts, um, there's one of my favorite media platforms is look up Think Media. One of the one of the programs that I follow on YouTube, and their tagline is "You gotta just press record." And so again, going back to the crutch or the handicap that social media has created, which is like, hey, everything has to be a finished, perfect, pristine product. That's just not reality. Um, that's not reality, because no one's perfect, right? So, but then two, um, with being ready to release them, because I had them pre-recorded a week or two before each episode, CC, I was able to actually go in, watch it, then edit it in post production. They call it post production. So I was able to go through, and if there were some issues, then I would go through and edit them and chop it up to where, okay, the product was as good as it was can be. And then there was some with that pre-recorded format. There was some that I recorded, man, 4 months ago, right? And then they hit me up, and I'm glad we pre-recorded the episode because they hit me up and was like, "Hey, the information that I put forth is not relevant anymore because I don't work at this place, or I'm not with this person, or I'm not at this congregation anymore." And so there were some episodes that I didn't put out because the information was no longer accurate or relevant, if that makes sense, right? So very good question. So again, there are some pros and cons to going live like this or pre-recording. So when you pre-record it, you can hold on to it, you can polish it, you can edit it, um, and then post it whenever you like. But the other side of that is if you don't release it in enough time, then it kind of gets stale. So that's kind of one of the things that I learned last year as well. Okay, very good. You good, you good, you good, you good, you good, CC. Uh, Preacher, brother Vine, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's one of the guests from last year. From last year too. Also, put in the shameless plug. If you've got some cats who you would like to be a guest, or you say, "Yo, this is my preacher," or "This is my buddy in the community," I feel like he or she, this individual, has a lot to share. Yo, definitely hit me up. Let me know. We can definitely do what we can to get them on the show. All right, yo. So, yo, that's what I got for y'all tonight. Man, this episode has been fun again. Trying new things, first time doing it live in real time. So we appreciate you. Again, if this is not your first time on the show, welcome back. Season 2 has officially kicked off tonight. I'm excited about what God is going to do this year. So, yeah, if you haven't liked, subscribe, do so. Bless the ministry, bless the channel. We're going to do some amazing things this year. With that being said, looking into next week, coming up next week, we got my boy from Houston, Texas. He is one of the associate ministers at the Light of the World Church of Christ in Dallas, Texas. Minister Justin Lewisfelder. Full names out here. So again, if you haven't done so, subscribe, like us, follow us. That concludes this episode. Until next week, we'll see you. God bless you. God keep you. Peace.